Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, the new Mac Minis are here and they're pretty much awesome. We've got the base version with the M2 chip and the Pro model, which is a good bit stronger. So we've got pretty much everyone covered based on your workflow. Everybody seems to be happy with these, but there has been one complaint that was already there with the M1 version of the Mac Minis, and that is the port selection. The Pro model is pretty good, with 4 available USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, along with 2 USB-A ports, and it's got an Ethernet port. The HDMI port is 2.1, so it's future-proofed and you don't have to use up any of your precious USB-C ports for a display. Would I like more? Of course, but this is a decent selection. The base model, on the other hand, well, it only has 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and the Ethernet port. It has an HDMI 2.0 port, but it's safe to say you're probably going to need more ports at some point. So in other words, you're going to need a dock. So I've been looking around at different docks, and there's a lot of them out there that kind of match the size of the Mac Mini and sit underneath it. Then the team at Mini-So-Brew, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, anyways, they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to check out their newest dock, and I really like it. And just to be clear, this video isn't sponsored, but they did send me the dock to review, but these opinions are my own. So the first thing that kind of stood out to me was the build. It's a nice aluminum build and it perfectly matches the Mac Mini in color and feel and kind of just goes together when you mount it. And speaking of mounting it, I really like the vertical orientation that you get with this stand, as opposed to the other stands that just sit below the Mac Mini and make it taller. This orientation kind of just gets it up and out of the way, making for a smaller footprint on your desk. There are these nice soft pads mounted on the inside of the dock so your Mac Mini won't get scratched. And they also kind of help to hold it in place once it's mounted. It's a pretty tight fit. So let's talk about the ports. On the front you get a micro SD card reader, a full-size SD card reader, and 2 USB-C 3.2 ports. Do note that these USB-C ports are for data transfer only, do not have power delivery, meaning that they will charge your USB-C devices but they won't fast charge them. Their max throughput is 10 gigabytes per second. I don't really use my Mac Mini to charge my phone anyways, but I just wanted to make sure you knew. That being said, data transfer speeds are still really good through these ports when I'm, say, moving large video files back and forth to my external drive. It's good enough that you have an SD card reader here, but I love having it on the front. That was the one thing that I was really missing from the Mac Studio, and now I can get rid of the dongle that I was using. And you power all of these ports with a single, undetachable USB-C cable that comes out from the bottom of the dock and plugs into the back of your Mac Mini. And last but definitely not least, there is an SSD slot built into the bottom of the dock that can take different sizes of NVMe SSDs. I threw a 1TB SSD in there and configured it to show up as an external drive on my desktop. I've been putting all my larger files in there to save space on the main hard drive, and it's been really helpful. Now this is going to be huge if you're rocking that base M2 Mac Mini because it comes with only 256 gigabytes of storage, and the system data alone takes up around 32 gigs. Apple charges a ridiculous amount to upgrade your storage, and this kind of eliminates that need to pay an extra $200 just to go to a 512 gigabytes. That's not to mention the 1TB drive I bought was only $75. One issue I wanted to check with this internal SSD was to see if it would stay mounted in the system when the Mac Mini went to sleep or if it was turned off and back on again, as a lot of other docks completely forget your external storage when you do this, and yeah, it seems to stay connected all the time. Another cool thing about this SSD slot is that it uses a magnetic mount on the little door that covers the SSD so you can quickly get access if you need it. Now I did have a little bit of trouble getting it to stay in place because I feel like the magnet was on the wrong side, but I was probably trying to put it in incorrectly. But that was about the only gripe that I had while using this thing. So overall, yeah, you should probably get a dock for your Mac Mini. You can add an SSD like I did, and it pretty much takes care of the 2 main issues plaguing the M2 Mac Mini, ports and storage. This model usually runs around $60, but they do have a $10 off coupon on Amazon right now. I'll post the link below if you want to check it out. If it's out of stock, you can also check out their website that I'll link below. And I'll also link the SSD I bought if you want to check it out. But anyways, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.